Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's happening, Sean? How are you tonight, my man?
I am good. Ready for the weekend. Hopefully win some more money.
Hopefully we get some more NFL winners. But here's the thing for me, Sean, is I'm having some really difficult times with my books today. I don't know what in the hell's going on. I won't say who I use or what I use, but let's say for my, horse racing. We know about horse racing. Today at the Breeders' Cup, a horse ran but didn't run because he ran and then he run, but he didn't run and he won. But if you bet on him, you didn't win, even though you did win. And the books say you don't get your money back. Interesting. And yet they call the offshore books who say that they call parasites and scavengers and dirt bags and all that kind of stuff. They say they refund your money. So the dirt bags refund your money, but the so-called straight up folks don't refund your money. Things that make you go, huh? And then in another case, I work with a book, one that people are very familiar with. What's up, Drew? How you doing today? Your NFL pick is the Cowboys, -5. All right, Drew. It could well be the case, but I'm working with another book that people know very well for a lot of reasons beyond betting. I won't mention them at all, if that helps out a little bit. But I'm in Chicago. You could see my prison window behind me like you see all of the time. I go to log into my account. I get a message. It says, you're locked out because you're trying to log into your account from, I don't know, they call it proxy or something or another, that I'm trying to log into my account from Tennessee. I'm not in Tennessee, Sean. So their geo-targeting software obviously is not working correctly. And yet I'm locked out of my account. And then I email them and say, yo, bro, I'm at my desk in Chicago like I always am. What the hell are you people doing? Oh, our system indicates you're in Tennessee. Dude, I'm not in Tennessee. I can assure you I'm not in Tennessee. Then they say, send your picture. So maybe I'm giving it away. And a picture of your face and your ID. So I did this once before. So I sent them my picture and my ID. So then when I wrote them back and said, hey, what's going on here? They said, by sending your picture and your ID, you are admitting to trying to log in from other places, that you are admitting that you're trying to use your account as a proxy. I mean, what is wrong with these people, Sean? What kind of idiots run these places?
I have no idea. I don't know. All these rules and stuff. I mean, I had the same thing when I went to Atlantic City. I could go on one book, but I couldn't go on the other book, and it was trying to ask me security questions, and the questions never popped up. So then it locked me out. So I don't understand why it's okay on one book and not okay on the other book. It's crazy.
I understand that you shouldn't be okay. So if I have an account in Illinois, right? So you're in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So if you're in New Jersey, you're not in Pennsylvania,
right? But
that makes sense to me. And even though Jersey's a legal state,
right,
but you're registered in Pennsylvania,
correct? But one of the books left me do it, even though I was in New Jersey, and they knew I was in New Jersey. And the other book wanted more security questions because of a New Jersey law, but the questions would never actually pop up. So it was saying I was answering the questions wrong, but I never got the answer to the questions.
So that's the crazy thing. So if the software doesn't work right, why is the end user to blame? Right? I mean, that's, to me, I don't know. I come from a generation when if the customer was being legit, the customer, you take care of the customer. You know what I'm saying? You don't try to step on him and say you're lying, you SOB. How am I lying, dude? I'm in Chicago. I'm at my desk. It's 10 o'clock at night.
And the sad part is there's thousands of people that are actually scamming them, and they're getting away with it, and you're doing everything legit, and they're shutting you down. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's beyond amazing right now. So tonight, well, let's try to be beyond amazing ourselves, right? Besides Drew taking the Cowboys -5, his only play of the weekend. Maybe you'll have some other ones in there for you, Drew, that you might want to consider looking at. So let's go ahead and run through the roster of NFL games for this Sunday, Sean. See who Sean likes, see who I like, and then you can take Sean's plays and fade mine. So the first game on the ticket is the Houston Texans getting Tyrod Taylor back. Apparently the Los Angeles Chargers doctor and the Houston doctor has gone far away from him. he's not letting anybody buy him with needles. Like, hey, Tyrod, this is the COVID shot. He's like, nah, it's not.
There's still plenty of time till kickoff. I mean, the one time it happened, minutes
right before they kicked it off.
Yeah, so
they're like, hey, this Herbert kid looks pretty good. Well, they got a big enough look at Mills, and they're like, nah, he ain't no Herbert.
Yeah, they're definitely welcoming him back.
But even still, Houston's only a 5.5, 6 point underdog. What do you think? Miami's not playing like lights out either.
No, so this would be lean towards Houston. I would take Houston in the points, but I have enough other plays. I'm going to pass on this bad game.
So you would take Houston in the points. Well, I actually have the Dolphins winning and the Dolphins covering, but I'm a stickler for certain margins, and the game is not beyond that margin. It worked for me because I was 3-0 last week. If I had followed a couple of others, I might have actually gone 4 or 5-0. So let's see if we can continue that hot streak this week. As far as the total is concerned in that game, Sean, the game is at 46.5. What do you think about that?
This is another game I wouldn't touch the total. Probably under, but I wouldn't touch it.
I think it could be a stupid soccer tie, Sean, because I have them combining for 46 points, which is I have the 26-20 in favor of the Miami Dolphins, which means they would barely cover the game. Again, that's beyond that's actually a push, depending upon what book you're looking at, and a push. So I have a stupid soccer tie across the board on this particular game, Sean. That's kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah, Vegas must be using the same thing there.
Yeah, they've hacked into my computer for sure. Somebody has
in Tennessee.
Yes, my computer in Tennessee, which is that's the good computer, Sean, not this crappy one over here that gives me games that go under in the NBA when I'm betting the over and over and over again. So let's take a look and see how the public is betting in that spot, Sean. I can't find it. No one wants to bet that game. The 1-800 game doesn't get any play. So believe it or not, Sean, most of the people are taking the Texans in the points. The tickets are mildly in Houston's favor, but the money is overwhelmingly in Houston's favor. And the tickets are 50-50 on the total, almost exactly 50-50 on the total. But man, big money taking the under in this game. So smart money on Texans, smart money on the under. Texans in the under. Go ahead and book that one, Sean, for your parlay of the weekend.
Yeah, possibly. I'm just leaving this game alone. This is a game you just, you keep an eye on a score you don't even watch. But
I think Drew's about to get mad at me in this one. Okay, so Dallas Cowboys. And I'm a Cowboys fan, Drew, but this line is wrong. Cowboys, here they are. So you're getting a -5. Okay, that's a much different line than what's available.
Yeah,
the line out there is
be getting horrible odds.
Yeah, either that or he got the line really early in the week, maybe. Well, it opened up at 9.5. It's at 10 right now, 9.5. You can do 6 too, Sean, if you want. Denver +6, Cowboys -6 for -220. What do you think about this game?
I'm going to give up the 10, and I'm going to take Dallas. Dallas it doesn't matter who they're playing. They keep scoring points. As long as Prescott's playing, they'll be fine.
And he is playing. He said
he
said he's absolutely playing. So
I'm
going to take it from Dak that he's right.
And Denver's offense is not going to keep up with Dallas at all. So.
But unless, of course, he's part of a book that says he played, but he didn't play. Like the one horse in the last race at the Breeders' Cup. So they're going to declare him out, but let him play, but the score doesn't count, but it does. But it doesn't.
Yeah. Well,
what do you think about that?
I'm going to trust that don't happen, and I'm going to take Dallas -10.
That line is wrong, Sean. Let me tell you, that line is probably the worst line this weekend, in my opinion.
You're going to trust Denver with 10? I mean, Denver is just not playing good.
Oh, I'm going to do your thing. I'm going to say Teddy Bridgewater is the greatest all-time covering quarterback in the history of the NFL. Right? So because of that, how can you ever consider betting against? They're not the Dallas Cowboys are not 10 points better than the Denver Broncos. Broncos managed to stay in most games. I think they'll manage to stay in this game. The Cowboys have some offensive problems. I know the Denver may have waved the white flag by trading Von Miller, or maybe they just didn't get along with him anymore. I don't know. But I think 10 points for the Cowboys is way too many. They'll score, but they'll also let Denver score. I'm going to take Denver, and I'm going to do so with +10. I was going to say something else, but I'm going to violate my own use of language rules.
Oh. So that's -110?
Minus 110, my friend. Yes. For the Cowboys. Yep. So we both got minus 110. We're on opposite sides of this game. Maybe we can get together on the total, Sean. The total in that game for the Cowboys and the Broncos is 49 points. Do you think they go over or under that number?
If I'm going to do anything with the total, if I were inclined to, which I'm not, but if I were going to, I would just take Dallas's total over because you're going to need the points from Dallas, I think, to go over. So if I find their total, of course, it wants to give me that.
You can't find it, Sean?
No, I can't find it at the moment.
Is that where
I will
you're at?
find it, though. But
So,
I would
yeah,
take Dallas team total if you're going to do that.
Well, I have – hold on a second. I pressed the wrong button. I have the game coming in at 29 – well, 30-24, the Cowboys winning. So what do you have the total on that?
Okay.
The game coming in at 52, and the over-under is at 49. So I have it going slightly over, Sean, but not enough for me to make that an official play. But
and Dallas over and under is 29.5.
yeah, so that's going to be a 50-50 for you. I feel like that, Sean. But I know you're not playing it. But I'm saying if folks were to go that route.
Yeah, I just feel like if it's going to go over, you're going to need Dallas to score 30 points. So.
They're going to do the lifting, but their defense gives up big plays usually, Sean. So I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I'm moving it up to minus 10 and taking the Cowboys. For you, you should cashing out. Well, yeah, Sean's on the Cowboys. You should trust Sean. I mean, I'm not, and I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm probably jinxing myself. I'm breaking Sean's rule of not playing against my team or playing my team. As far as the money is concerned, hey, most of the folks agree with you. They're taking the Cowboys, 2/3 of the tickets, 2/3 of the money are on the Cowboys, and a little more than 60% of the money and tickets are on the over. So the majority believe the game is going to go the Cowboys' way in terms of the line, and the money is saying that they're going to score a lot of points. So Sean is right once again.
I think the Cowboys are the only team left. I can look it up quick, but I think the Cowboys are the only team left that's covered every week.
Yeah, well, that's all the more reason why you think they're not going to cover this week. You know, I mean, because that doesn't happen like that.
No.
So they're going to regress to the mean, Sean. Minnesota and Baltimore. Here you got a case of disappointing quarterback versus I love Lamar. I actually like the guy. I just feel like he, when they have to throw, it's going to be a challenge for them. And Minnesota has to throw, and it's a challenge for them too, even though they got loaded players on the outside and with Thielen and Jefferson, but yet somehow, some way, and Dalvin Cook, but somehow maybe they should have reconsidered kicking their offensive coordinator out because he wouldn't get the shot, right?
Yeah.
Because their offense was far more prolific. So see, COVID kills offenses too.
I like Baltimore giving up the 6 here. I'm not a huge fan of this Baltimore team like everybody else is. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but giving up 6 to a Minnesota team here, Baltimore's going to be a lot more physical. Their offense is more trusted in Minnesota. Minnesota, I just don't know what they're doing. They got to blow something up there. They got plenty of talent, but Cousins has done turn the ball over a couple times in this game. I think Baltimore can win this by at least a touchdown.
Well, I would probably lean Minnesota in this game if Baltimore wasn't coming off of a bye. So I feel like they're going to get a chance to get healthy. They're going to get a chance to get some things right. Minnesota's coming off, I would say, a disappointing loss, to say the least. They lost to Cooper Rush in his first NFL start. And they lost to them late. They let Cooper Rush beat him at the end of the game, which is just, I think, bad all the way around. Bad coaching. Again, I'm a Cowboys fan, but if I were going to, I think this is a field goal game, Sean. I don't think this is almost a touchdown game.
This is interesting because you're really high on Baltimore and I'm not, and we're going the opposite.
I'm not playing Baltimore. I'm not playing Baltimore or Minnesota.
Yeah.
But because I feel like if one team's going to win by a lot, it's going to be Baltimore. If, as I said, if Baltimore wasn't coming off the bye, I would be on Minnesota, but I'm a little bit more cautious. I have to have a little bit more margin for error when a team is coming off of bye. You have to make that mental adjustment.
Yep.
So you're taking Baltimore.
I am taking Baltimore.
And this particular spot is supposed to score 50 points. Sean, I think the game will go slightly over, but not enough again to make a play.
Yeah, I don't trust it, but if I would go one way, I'd have more faith in the over here. I believe Baltimore can score pretty much against Minnesota. And like I said, Cousins is going to turn the ball over, and Minnesota is going to keep throwing the ball too, so they should score their fair share of points. So I would lean the over.
Minnesota's defense has actually done a decent job. They've been better than probably most people thought they were going to be. As far as the game is concerned, the money, Sean, so it's 3/4 of the tickets, a little more than 3/4 of the money back in the Ravens, giving up almost a touchdown. And as far as the total is concerned, it's 50-50 across the board. People don't know what to make of that number. So that's a Vegas special right there. Vegas is very happy about that one because they're not dedicated to either side. They're committed. New England and Carolina. This is a game, Sean, where you have a quarterback, Matt Jones, going against, I was going to say Matt Barkley, but that's not his name.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Wow, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Barkley, Darnold, all
Barkley
the same.
could play as good as Darnold right now.
Well, they're probably about the same. All right, so you can get New England given 3.5 for -115 or -4 for 110, or you can give them -7.5 for 150 in that odd book line all the time over there on the right-hand side.
So I'm going to go -3.5. And you know how you always say Vegas gives you a gift every week? I think this may be.
There he goes. I refrain from using that language.
Well,
Sean has not learned his lesson.
I did win the other night when I said there was a gift. We did win on that. I forget which game that was, but I did win on that. I think I hate saying this as a Jets fan, but New England's starting to look dangerous. Mac Jones is playing really good. I mean, their defense is good. They can run the ball. Carolina's not looking good. So I thought this line was really low. -3.5. I looked at this right away and
you just jumped on it. That was your first intuition, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and I couldn't find any reasons to go the other way, like any besides the line being too good. But that's just a matter of
there are a lot of words you're throwing out there, Sean.
It's just a matter of Carolina being home is why you're getting this.
Well, I have this game, Sean, coming in as a push, actually. So 4 looks like the absolute right number to me. You're going to have New England go on. This is back-to-back road games. The second road game sometimes a little bit more difficult than the first road game. I think if you look throughout the course of NFL history, you'll find that the team on the back end of 2 consecutive road games probably doesn't cover as much as the fans would like for them to do. I do believe that New England's probably the better team, maybe has the better coach, probably has the better quarterback, but I don't know how much talent they really have on the outside. I think they've been winning on good defense. They probably should win this game on good defense as well. But it concerns me, like I said, the second road game back-to-back. I have the line perfectly at 4, so I can't play this one either.
And the other thing is Belichick's had plenty of games against Darnold, so, I mean, he knows.
He's going to have him seeing ghosts, right?
Yeah.
The total in this game, Sean, is 41, right? Somewhere in that area, 41 exactly. And I have the game coming in at 43. So a little bit above. This is like the week of the kind of slightly over. I'm not going to be able to play with only a 2 points swing of margin there.
Yeah, I'm not playing the total neither, but I would lean the over. New England's offense is really clicking it in. Darnold's going to turn the ball over. 41's not too many points. So
I'm going to see ghosts.
Yeah.
Whoever let that tape out from the Carolina side, boy, that guy did not like Sam. I mean, from the Jet side, that dude wanted, or girl, wanted to get rid of Darnold for sure. So the money is a little more than 70% of the tickets are on the Patriots. Almost 80% of the money is on the Patriots. As far as the total is concerned, a little bit more money is leaning the ticket. I mean, a little bit more tickets are on the under, but an overwhelming amount of money is on the over. So the smart money is thinking there's going to be a lot of points in this game, Sean. One game where there might not be a lot of points, at least for one team anyway, Buffalo and Jacksonville. I feel like this is a game where you might not see a whole lot of points out of Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, I would think so. The problem here is I don't want to give up 14.5.
It's a lot of points.
On the road. And also, Buffalo's been playing down to their competition, too. They've played some bad – when they play the bad teams, they kind of just do enough to get by. So they probably win by 2 touchdowns exactly, and you'll be sweating it out at the end. So I'm going to pass on this one.
It's funny that you say that because it's 14.5, and I have the Bills, again, a stupid soccer tie. And I don't know how they score a half a point, but somehow the Bills are going to get a half a point advantage and it's going to come in exactly 14.5. So you're right, Sean. It's going to be the end of the game, and you're going to be hoping that the coach from Urban Meyer, for whatever reason, doesn't decide to kick a field goal because they're 4th and 20 at like the 13-yard line or something. Yeah, the hell with it. Let's kick a field goal, and go put the game in that stupid backdoor cover for Jacksonville, which you just cannot stand to see happen. The total in that game, Sean, is 48.5, and you're probably going to have to get the majority of those points out of the Bills. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's why I think I'll play the total here. I'll go under because Buffalo's been struggling against these bad teams, just doing enough, and I don't see Jacksonville scoring many points against Buffalo here. So, I could see this being even a 35-7 game, even if it is that. And Buffalo blows them out. I mean, you're still covered. So
what if it's 40? What if it's 42-7?
Well, then I obviously lose. But yeah, I like I said, Buffalo,
what if it, Sean? What if it's 35-17?
Well, that would be bad.
Because that's the score I have. 35 Buffalo.
Is that really?
17? That's the projected.
So you're on
score.
the edge again of playing the over.
I'm on the edge again, but like I said, this week there's so many games that are so close to me taking them on the over, and that I can't do it. Though there's a few in here that I'm going to be on. I'm going to have probably about 3 or 4 plays. I'm being very disciplined in the NFL. I loosen up a little bit in the NBA and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to have to revert to just being a tight wad and only playing, even if that means I only have 1 or 2 plays a night or none. I got to revert back to that person so that I can up that winning percentage. But yeah, I have the game going over, and I have it as stupid soccer tie with Buffalo covering. So I think they win by 15, Sean.
Okay.
I'm not going to play it though, but that's the way I see it. As far as the money is concerned and the tickets are concerned on that game, Sean, most of the people believe, they got to find the game, that the Bills are going to cover. The tickets are that way too. I think this game has maybe the most percentage of money on the Bills out of any game. It's almost it's above 95%. And as far as the total is concerned, about 70% of the money, about 70% of the tickets are backing the over. So the smart money and the dumb money both believe the game is going to go over, Sean. Cleveland and Cincinnati. Boy, that Cleveland offense is just stellar, baby. Scoring 10 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers with the mighty Baker Mayfield back. I think they might think about flipping back to the other quarterback that played 2 weeks ago.
Keenum.
Case Keenum, yeah.
Yeah. This is a lean for me for the Bengals, but I just don't trust it enough. And this game could go either way too. This could be a shootout, or this could be a defensive battle. Like you said, Cleveland's offense is struggling, so that'd be hard to believe. But they did.
Did you watch the Jets score like how many points against this? 34 points against
35,
this?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
so I think Baker Mayfield should be good. I mean, if Mike White can find 34 points, 5 or whatever, I would think that Baker Mayfield can find at least 16.
I'm going to stop you there, though, because before Mike White got hurt, I mean, the Colts defense ain't bad, and he was going up and down the field again with the Colts. So maybe there's more to Mike White.
Oh, yes.
Of course, he had to get hurt the other night again. But
yes. I don't know how. He hardly got hit. He's soft. He's like, I made my mark. I'm out.
I would also think that's going to motivate the Cincinnati defense that much more. The Browns' offense has not looked good. So
well, they might be better now that Odell Beckham's not there.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Now that he's not there, let's see if that changes anything. Chemistry, different plays. But for me, it's just a heavy lean on the Bengals giving up 2, but I'm not going to do it. For
me, it's not a heavy lean, Sean. I'm buying. Before, didn't you say, what was it? If all things you bet Cleveland? What was that again?
Yeah, well, that's what you turned it into. But,
I'm going to take Cleveland, Sean. I'm going to take the 2.5 points at minus 110. I think Cleveland is going to actually win this game outright. Wow. I think they have the better defense. I think they'll put some, but I mean, clearly Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and the T. Higgins. I think Joe Mixon. They probably have a little bit better offensive weapons. Whatever
happened to all that preseason talk that Jamar Chase couldn't catch? He even said he couldn't catch the ball. The ball was different. Yada yada yada, and he's catching everything going his way. So
Yeah, well, that's how it goes, right? Revert to the mean. This week is going to be the week he's got the drops, and it's going to have a few bounce off his hands, a la Julio Jones, and get intercepted. and then his mom is going to complain that those interceptions shouldn't belong to him.
Okay. Well, I mean, might as well just add more moms and brothers and sisters and everything else.
I mean, that's where the NFL is now, right?
Yeah.
So as far as this game is concerned, Sean, I don't double dip, but if I were going to double dip, I would take the over in this game, Sean. But I feel better about the Cleveland squad covering and getting 2.5 points than I do about the game going over. But I do have it going considerably over.
We're completely opposite on this game. I'm not making any official bets, but you're taking Cleveland. But I would lean Cincinnati, and I'd lean the under here.
I have the Browns winning this game, Sean, 28-26. I don't know how you get to 28-26. Well, I don't know how you get to 28, but I have no idea how you get to 26.
There's ways. Hey, now with missed extra points and everything else, there's ways.
Well, 2 missed extra points. There you go. So I have that. That's the final score for me with Cleveland winning this game. So I'm going to take Cleveland because both the ways I go ahead and manufacture potential outcomes say Cleveland wins this game. I hope they do win this game because I'm actually going to take them. And what I say I'm going to take on the show, I actually bet in my account. So when they lose, I lose. And I get really kind of upset about it because I hate to lose, Sean, for sure. As far as the betting is concerned in that game, Sean, 2.5, well, most of the tickets are on the Bengals, but slightly more money on the Browns. It's a 50-50 bet on the money side. As far as the total is concerned, most people agree with you. Most tickets agree with the over, but most of the money agrees with you. So the money is where you want it. Follow the money, as they say. Las Vegas and the New York Giants. Boy, has there been a team that's been through more turmoil this year than the Vegas Raiders? First year in Vegas. I mean, what would you expect out of the first year in Vegas anyway? And did you see that another guy got in trouble today too?
I clicked on the story and then I don't know. I got distracted. I didn't get to read it and know the whole thing. But yeah, I did see it pop up. I didn't get to read the whole story.
Yeah, another guy, I forget his name off the top of my head, but another a defensive back apparently crashed into a car, injured a girl, and left the scene. Yeah. A kid that they drafted the first round out of Ohio State. That I remember. I can't remember his name, like Zenzi or something like that. But anyway, his name is not important. It's like, what in the hell is going on out in Las Vegas with these players and the way they drive? Did they drive like that when they were in Oakland, or you just can't drive like that at Oakland? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, the laws out there are a lot worse too. So, I mean, that's the worst place to be doing that. I mean,
where, Vegas?
Well, like Ruggs, he can't get probation. He's getting 2 to 20 years. So, I mean, other places he may get off.
Yeah, but I think you're not getting off.
No,
I think if you're driving 156 miles an hour, you're inebriated, you're twice the legal limit. And when you get out of the car, you start screaming at the police officers. And then when you're in the hospital, you're get me the F out of here. I think
I'm still. I mean,
I still feel bad for him, but
I don't feel bad for him.
He's screwed.
I was gonna say, you want me to go on a 20 minute? I do not feel bad for him. When you go out drinking and you didn't line up a driver, you're going to get drunk. You're driving 156 miles per hour, whether you're drunk or not. I don't feel bad for him. He made too many bad decisions all in one for me to feel bad for him. It wasn't one bad decision. It was multiple. As far as the game, this is why I'm not going to take Vegas giving up 3 they responded to the other situation fine, and they should be able to beat the Giants. Giving up 3, but I have enough other plays. I'm going to let it go just because of all the turmoil, and who the heck knows?
Yeah, I'm going to let it go. Although I think there should be a rule of thumb that any team that Jason Garrett is evolved around the offense, just bet against them and bet the under, because I don't know what kind of offense that guy's running in 2021. It's just plod. I
don't know why when you watch Dallas with all the weapons and Garrett calling it, why would you want him as your offensive coordinator? I mean, some of these guys.
Well, he's the offensive coordinator for the Giants now, Sean.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so why are you talking about the Cowboys?
When he was with the Cowboys, why would you? There was no good signs that he was doing. Why would you want him as your offensive coordinator?
Well, he wasn't their offensive coordinator when he left. It was Kellen Moore, and they were actually scoring then. But when he was their offensive coordinator, they weren't scoring. Exactly. But in the game, I have the Raiders actually covering, but I can't bet this game because I have no idea how the Raiders are going to respond. I mean, you got Derek Carr up on the podium crying And then his brother tweeting that he should be the MVP at the same time.
I did see that. Yeah.
There's a little tone deafness.
I almost want to say just take the Raiders because they've responded to the other situation okay, but then it's just how much can the team handle before something?
Well, I think a coach and the player is different because the coach is kind of like the boss.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like when there's animosity between the employee and the employer or the boss, whereas there's family between the workers and the except for that a-hole worker that always kisses up to the boss. But there's a bond between teammates usually. So I think that's going to affect them more than John Gruden, right? Because there's life and death and the friend is gone and all that kind of stuff. The other guy's got his money and he's old and he shouldn't say those cranky old man things anyway.
He hasn't been a great player, but he does open a lot of things up for their offense with all that speed too. So they'll be missing that as well.
Probably. The as far as the total in this game, Sean, is concerned, it is a stupid soccer tie for me. Again, it's at 46.5, 47. I have the game coming in at exactly 47. So again, but I don't know because we both agree we don't have zero idea how the Raiders are going to respond to that Henry Ruggs situation and now the other defensive back. There's just way too much turmoil there for me to even think about that game. But as far as the public is concerned, Sean, most of the tickets and money are on the Raiders. As far as the total is concerned, most of the tickets are on the over, but damn near 95 cents on the dollar is on the under. So there's a big bets coming in on the game going under. Yeah, Atlanta and New Orleans, another situation where you got injuries and players. Michael Thomas out. You got Jameis Winston out. You have an upset quarterback because Simeon's going to start and not the can't remember the other guy's name. So Taysom Hill. So there's some issues there too. And then you got Atlanta, of course. You have Matt Ryan, who just he's doing what Matt Ryan does, throwing the ball to the other team. You got you have Calvin Ridley, who doesn't want to play football anymore. What is it with the Alabama wide receivers? But anyway, this is another game that's kind of really interesting.
Yeah, if I had to go one way, I'd go the Saints giving up 6.5, but I don't want to touch it for all the reasons you already touched on. But I do agree with keeping Hill as the backup because if you put Hill as the starter, who's going to come in and do the stuff that Hill's done? So that takes that away. So unfortunately, that's going to work against Taysom Hill because they want the guy to come in and do the special things that he does. So that's going to be with him his whole career, and that's what he's going to be. So I would just
he's Tim Tebow that they left on the team is what it is, right?
Basically, but he does it way better than Tim Tebow did. Wait a
minute, Tebow won a playoff game, right?
Yeah, but
Tebow is the only kid in the history of the league that won a playoff game in his last game and got cut. Anyway, so in this game, I think the New Orleans defense. So when you talk about team identity, what is the Atlanta identity? I don't know that you can identify Atlanta's identity, except maybe they disappoint. Whereas the New Orleans identity is that a physical, aggressive, angry defense that'll carry. I feel like that New Orleans will cover this game and win. I just don't have it by a big enough margin to do it. But if I were going to pick a side, I would definitely heavily lean New Orleans because that defense is their calling card. And whenever Matt Ryan faces up against some aggressive defenses, he tends to turn the ball over. As far as the total is concerned, Sean, this is one that I think I'm going to maybe play. You have the game coming in at 41.5. I have it going considerably over that. What's the total on New Orleans? I might take just New Orleans to go over. What is it? It's got to be like around 24.
I will find out here in a minute. Yeah, you're right. 23.5.
23.5. I'm going to take the Saints going over 23.5, Sean. I hope it doesn't come back to bite me in the rear end, but I have them scoring 30 points, Sean. So I have enough wiggle room in there for me to go ahead and take the Saints.
Your odds are
is enough.
Minus 120.
No, that's okay. A winning bet is a winning bet, right? If it wins.
Yeah.
But then again, it can win. Based upon my experience in horse racing today, it can win and not win at the same time. How about that?
Hey, we always, anything can happen, and you always see first every day. So,
yes, but I think that's kind of a little bit unusual that you win, but you didn't win even though you won. It's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in that game. So as far as the money is concerned, Sean, it is a little bit more tickets and a little bit more money on the Saints, and most of the tickets are on the over in this game. So hopefully the team that does all the heavy lifting on that over is New Orleans, going over 23.5 for -120. The Chargers and the Eagles. This is an interesting game because when I looked at this game, I was like, oh, this one's the Chargers all the way. And I figured Sean's probably going to be all over the Chargers because, let me see, they're going to want to make a statement. They're going to want to bounce back. The Eagles are no good. Let me think. Some more Seanisms. If all things fail, you bet Herbert. He's the better quarterback. All right, so you're going to take the Eagles?
I'm not taking either team.
No.
With this line, I'd love to take the Chargers, but they're starting to struggle too.
But they don't want to make a statement or anything like that. See, you are band. You are totally. You are the definition of bandwagon.
I just don't like them going into Philly here. I think they.
Well, who likes to go into Philly? Let's be honest. It's Philly.
Yeah, I agree. They probably do win, but I just don't like the feel of it. It seems too obvious to take the Chargers and then win by at least a field goal. But like I've said before, Jalen Hurts looks horrible one time and then looks great. So you don't know what you're going to get. So I'm going to avoid it.
So you got the horrible, you got the great last week. So that means you get the horrible this week, no?
Yeah, sometimes. He's all over the place. You don't know when he's going to do it.
Well, at least you know he's got some upside then. So you got to be happy about that as an Eagles fan. Of course, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I just hate the Eagles. I don't care if my brother played quarterback for the Eagles. I'd hate the Eagles. So I have the Chargers actually covering this game, but only by about a point. So the line is -2, 1.5, 2. So I have them winning by 2-3 points. Not enough to take a play on that side. As far as the total is concerned, when I first thought that, this game's definitely going to go over, right? Because the Chargers are having a difficult time stopping people. The Eagles are having a difficult time stopping people. I really feel like this game's going to be high scoring. I look at the total, it's 49.5, and I punch in the numbers, and it comes back, and it says to me 50. Stupid soccer tie.
Not another one.
Yeah, I was excited to play that one. I'm like, all right, I'm all over this one, baby.
Yeah, so I would lean the over, but again, it's set high enough that it scared me away.
Yeah, I just can't play it for a half a point, Sean, but I feel like it's the right way to go. I really feel like internally, like you were talking before about just how you feel about it, I just feel like that's going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend. But in any case,
you can bet on that.
Well, yeah, but you got a 1 in 16 chance of being right, or however many games there are, and you're not getting 16-1 odds. You're not getting plus 1,600. But anyhow, the 80% of the tickets, 80% of the money on the over, 60% of the tickets, about 85 cents on the dollar on the over. So they feel like the Chargers in the high scoring. The initial instinct I have seems to be the instinct that everybody else has. So the game is probably the Eagles win outright, and they only win 14-10. This is an interesting game to me too, Sean. Green Bay against Kansas City. You have a Kansas City team that's not playing very well. It seems like teams have figured them out. And now you have a Green Bay team where the quarterback is taking his medical advice from a podcast host.
And it's not you.
Hey, me. Come on. What the hell is wrong with you, Aaron Rodgers? Should be me.
So I think this is a big time overreaction. I'm taking Green Bay plus 7.5. I can't. How can you take Kansas City the way they're looking right now and give up more than a touchdown against a good team like Green Bay?
You know what I found the most interesting in that conversation, though, that he had with Pat McAfee, is that he said that if you're not vaccinated, that you can't do ads. Did you hear that?
Yes, and he did.
Well, no, to me that's insane. How can any organization, I don't care who it is, deny you a right to make money because you decide you want to do something that they don't want you to do? That seems to me to be a lawsuit waiting to happen completely. I can't understand why NFL players, they have the means. They can get exceptional attorneys. I know they're represented by the league. So the league making decisions for you as far as the league is concerned, if you want to play in the league, that's one thing. What you do outside of the league is completely something different. And I'm really of all the things he said today, that was the one thing that probably shocked me the most, is that if you're not vaccinated, you can't do sponsorships. Ooh, that seems like a lawsuit. a big one.
Well, a lot of what's coming out here with Aaron Rodgers, again, he's getting away with a lot here. He lied.
Getting away with the fact that he says it's a personal choice.
He lied.
In what way did he lie?
He said he was vaccinated. He wasn't.
That's not what he said. First of all, he did not say he's vaccinated.
Okay, he did not.
He said he was immunized.
Okay, did he follow all the procedures that you're supposed to do if you're unvaccinated in the NFL? No.
He said he followed them to a T. So either he lied or the NFL's lying. Somebody's lying.
He's lying because
it means if that means he was being tested every twice a week, I guess like the players are supposed to be. If he was doing that, then he's the one that's telling the truth. No,
he's also supposed to be wearing the mask and everything else if you're unvaccinated.
But he says that he doesn't wear a mask inside because everybody's vaccinated. So what difference does it make? And I have that same same question.
But it doesn't matter if that's his opinion or not. That's not the NFL rules. So again, Aaron Rodgers is getting away with things here because of his name. If this was some other quarterback, he would have been suspended by now already.
For not wearing a mask?
For not wearing a mask and lying about the vaccination status.
But he didn't lie about the vaccination status.
He did lie about it.
He did not. He said he was immunized. That's not saying I'm vaccinated.
He knew exactly.
First of all, I don't want to get into all this stuff because it doesn't. But let's just say the vaccines. Like I don't want to get kicked off, but when you have to change the definition of a vaccine to make it be a vaccine, is it really a vaccine? I mean, if the CDC is changing the and they are, this is not made up. The CDC is changing the definition of a vaccine to fit what they're currently injecting into people because it's not the type of vaccines that people were used to getting. I've read way too much about this stuff, but I don't want to have this debate because it's only going to get us kicked off YouTube. I don't want to do that.
Sports show, we don't need to go. My point is just, again, Aaron Rodgers thinks he's above he's one of those people. He's above everybody and he gets treated differently and it's not.
But what athlete doesn't feel like that?
Yeah, but not all of them get treated.
Yeah, of course not. When they asked Jimmy Johnson, do you treat Emmitt Smith differently than you treat the last man on the bench? He said, you damn straight I do. Who doesn't? How much money has the NFL made off of marketing Aaron Rodgers? They treat him differently because he makes them more money. I mean, let's just be honest. You think LeBron James is treated like every other NBA player?
He's not, and that's another thing with LeBron. And he will say he is, and he's not.
No, he's not treated the same. Yeah. If that guy were treated the same, he'd fall out of every game. He's a hack.
Getting back to the game, 7.5 is way too many points here. So I will take Green Bay. I think Jordan Love will do okay in his debut, his first start. And also, Kansas City's just struggling offensively. So if they turn the ball over, Green Bay's got a good defense. Turns the ball over a couple times, Green Bay's going to hang around. Green Bay may even win this game.
Ooh, I don't know. Well, the public agrees with you because most of the tickets are on Green Bay and most of the money, a lot more than half both ways. As far as the total is concerned, it's about 50-50 on the over and under, but 2/3 of the money are back in Green Bay. If Aaron Rodgers were starting in this game, I don't know that the line would be what it is.
It was 50-50. It was a pick'em.
It was a pick'em. Well, at a pick'em, I might have leaned Kansas City. I can't play this game because you have no idea how Jordan Love's going to play. Zip, zero, nada. I expect that he's probably going to make quick decisions. They're probably going to try to get the ball out of his hand fast. I think they might incorporate a few wrinkles to their offense where they run a little bit more than they did with Aaron Rodgers. So maybe that'll take Kansas City's defense by surprise a little bit. But it's going to be the first time he's really played in live action that's counted and mattered. And I feel like he will make some mistakes, which can make it a little bit more difficult for the Green Bay to win. And where he makes those mistakes is going to be important. If he makes it on the other side of the 50, not that bad, although it's points off the board. If he makes it on his side of the 50, he's going to be gifting Kansas City points. So that scares me.
And the other thing, we'll come back to Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how much was Aaron Rodgers really helping him because he hasn't been the greatest teammate and the greatest person to help him groom him. So
well, you learned from Brett Favre, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how he was treated is how he's treating the kid.
Exactly.
I mean, I would be kind of mad too if you think about it, right? You're Aaron Rodgers, and instead of drafting you an offensive lineman to protect you or a wide receiver to complement Devontae Adams, you draft a quarterback that's not going to play for a few years. I mean, that is kind of a smack, not necessarily drafting a quarterback. Maybe you took one in the 3rd or 4th round, but not getting him additional tools to actually get the ball to. I think that's probably what he's more mad about, but that's just a guess.
It is, but this is the thing, he did this to Brett Favre. Well, he didn't do it, but he was brought in. He was in the same situation as Jordan Love. So you would think he would know how to treat him and not make him feel the way Brett Favre made him feel. But
maybe he stole his girlfriend or something. maybe he hit on Danica Patrick. I don't know. Yeah, I can't play that game. The next game, though, this line, Sean, makes no sense to me, and therefore it scares the living daylights out of me. But you have Arizona, and I don't know, because has Kyler Murray been ruled out?
He hasn't been ruled out, but I guess he is questionable. I've heard, though, that he's done a play, so I don't know why the line hasn't moved.
So
back.
you're getting +2 for the better team. I know they're playing in San Francisco, but Jimmy Garoppolo is still quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So, and I know they played the Eagles. San Francisco beat the Eagles last week pretty handily, right? No, the Bears. They beat the Bears pretty handily. Arizona's not the Bears. I know that DeAndre Hopkins probably not going to play too.
That's possible, yeah.
But I feel like if Kyle Murray plays, they're probably going to win, no?
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking too. This is one I think you just have to wait closer to kickoff. Although the problem with that
is if you wait to kick off and they say Murray plays, they're going to go from +2 to -2.
Yeah, so 14 hours ago it said he could start without practicing. So he's not practicing is the major issue, I guess. But you see that all the time anymore. So I did the same thing you did. I keep looking at Arizona going, do I bite? I haven't bitten yet. I'm going to pass on this. But absolutely, Murray plays. I'd feel pretty good at having a plus line with Arizona here.
So I have an option to go both ways here because this is a game on the total I can take because the over-under right now is 45. I have them coming in at 53. And then the Arizona at +2. I have Arizona winning this game outright and by enough to cover. It's an absolute 100% take. So the question is, which side do I want to take? And I feel like even without Kyler Murray, Jimmy Garoppolo will keep Arizona in the game to the point. I almost feel like this is a rewind to last week between Minnesota and Dallas, right? Dallas's star quarterback was going to be out. Minnesota was Cowboys were getting 3 because Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott. Now you have Arizona. So you have Kyler Murray out. San Francisco's clearly not the better team. So can Arizona find a way to win without Kyler Murray? And I feel like much like Dallas did last week, I think they can because they're just the better team.
And the difference, too, is Arizona's backup quarterback's Colt McCoy. He's been around and he's won games in these same situations.
Oh, now I don't definitely want to take Arizona.
He's
Colt McCoy.
He's won games in these situations before, so it's not like
how bad is the league that Colt McCoy is still in the league?
He's gotten better as he's gotten older.
Because he's on the bench. You don't have to play. So I'm going to take Arizona and Colt McCoy. What the hell? I feel like he's maybe 1 point less than Kyler Murray. Because hell, Sean just backed him up. He's gotten better.
Are you taking +2.5? Or are you taking the money line?
I'm just going to take the points, Sean. I feel like in the NFL, you take the points, my man. I can get +2 for -109. I'll do that. I mean, if I take the money line, what's it going to be? So on the money line with Arizona, you're going to get +120. I mean, yeah, I don't know. For 30 cents, I'd rather get the 2 points. And if they win by, I don't know. If they cover 2, they probably win the game outright. But I'm still going to take the points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't talk you out of it because if I do, San Fran wins this game by a point, and you know that.
Yeah, it would be like some weirdo score like 20 to 18 with a couple seconds left in the game, and they kick like a 40,000-yard field goal to beat me. Yeah. That's been how things go for me. So, yeah, I'm just going to take the points. I've learned my lesson a long time ago on that. As far as the money is concerned, Sean, I guess I'm on the right side because about 60-40 split on the tickets, but over 70% of the money on Arizona. As far as the total is concerned, You got about 60% of the tickets are on the game going over, but again, majority of over 70 cents, about almost 80 cents going on the over. So maybe play it both ways. I don't know. Final game on Sunday is the Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans going to visit the Los Angeles Rams. Sean's favorite to win the Super Bowl. Right now, as it stands, without Derrick Henry, the Rams are taking in almost 70 cents on the dollar. I mean, almost 70% of the tickets, but only about 55 cents, 56 cents. But with or without that, there's a ton of money on the over, Sean.
Yeah, so as far as the spread, I just don't want to give up a touchdown with this Rams team right now. They should win this game. I just don't feel comfortable giving up a touchdown, and who knows what Tennessee will do here without Henry. I'm sure
they're going to give the ball to Adrian Peterson 50 times.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's not ready to carry the ball 15, 20 times this week.
He better be, because somehow I had like the sixth. I was sixth in waiver line and ended up getting him. I don't know how that happened. I really wanted to get him just to trade it to the guy who had Derrick Henry, because he was up the rankings. And then I looked at his team and I wondered, how in the hell is this guy ahead of me? His team is terrible. Now without Derrick Henry, he's going to plummet. So I figured, why throw him a, what do they call those things? The Life Vest.
Oh, Life Vest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to pass on this game. I feel like the Rams will win the game. So they're probably a team you could add to a parlay, but I'm not going to give up.
I think the Rams will win the game, but I think there's probably a better chance that Tennessee covers the game, Sean. Even without Derrick Henry, I feel like they have enough weapons to keep the game close. And, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, Stafford hasn't practiced either, and he's got a bad back. So that he right now he says he's going to play, but, what if game time comes and he doesn't play?
Or they start getting up and, something.
Hey, we saw the Rams do that last week, right?
Yeah.
They got up 35-0.
38-0, 38-22 final. Yeah.
And Houston ended and I called that on the show, right?
And then the over is kind of the total here is scary too. 52.5. I just don't know what Tennessee's offense is going to do here. I mean, have Tannehill pass it all.
Their defense is kind of bad though. So what if the Rams score 50 points?
Yeah, well, their offense has not been clicking to do that, or would think to do that right now, but you never know. I'm gonna stay away from the total. At 52.5 might be a little too high though.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit. I have them coming in at 58 points, Sean. That tells you, but I need it to go down to 52 for me to make the play. That's so now you know what my margin of error is. I need it to be 6 points or more. So I'm not quite there yet. And the only reason why I picked 6 points is because I have gone back and looked and so here's where that, and I look to see what number, where the number is where you get kind of that separation between hitting and not hitting. And it's 6 points. So if I get 6 points, I'm well over 50%. If I get 5.7, it's crazy. It falls under 50%, but that 0.3 makes a huge difference apparently. So if it comes down, Sean, to 52, I will be on the over. Otherwise, I'm going to wait to see what happens. I'm hoping it comes down because Derrick Henry, or maybe some late word that Stafford might not play, so you get a little bit of a tick down. But it doesn't look like it because the line is actually kind of drifting back up again.
I will say, and I've said this before, and then you watch the games, and they're actually not bad games. But these primetime games this week, I'm not really looking forward to. Tennessee Rams, Bears, Pittsburgh, nothing really to get excited about.
Oh, that Bears-Pittsburgh game is going to be great.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, Ben Roethlisberger.
Over under of 39.
That's probably 38 too many.
Yeah.
It's one team's going to win 1-0. All right, Sean, any final thoughts before we wrap up the Week 9, unbelievable Week 9 NFL show?
Yeah, now we've done more of these shows than there are it's half and half because we have 18 weeks this year. So we are
halfway point, my man.
Yeah, wow. So
that's gone fast. Are you keeping track of our records or no? In the NFL?
Yeah, I have to put it together.
Okay, because I'm wondering what mine is. I'm lazy. I'm not good about details. Sean's the details guy, and I'm just the guy that comes along just to complain about things because I'm old.
Yeah, and you're having a rough night, so
I'm not having a rough night. I just like to play with people a little bit. When I'm emailing them, like, okay, so the offshore parasites can do the right thing, but you can't. Come on now. And then why are you locking out my account when I'm in Chicago? I mean, what kind of software do you guys operate? Shouldn't I get a free bet or something out of this? I'm just trying to play my angle, Sean.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Eventually somebody will get something.
Probably. I'll probably get like banned for good. So if folks want to do the right thing, Sean, what should they do?
Well, they should subscribe to this YouTube channel right here, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and then sign up on Moneyline.
And tell their friends about us, right? Yeah. I mean, last week I was 3-0. Why wouldn't you want your friends to be 3-0? I don't know about Sean. He's probably 0-3, but no, Sean had a good weekend last weekend too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I was. Maybe a game over 500 or something. But either way, we made money together. We made money. So,
well, the way I look at it like this, and this is, I go to bed, I say my prayers. Just let me be one game above. If I'm 3-2 every day, that's it, right? Just one game more than I win every day. I'm willing to lose 2, win 3, lose 2, win 3. If I won one more game every single day, at the end of the month, I'd be up 30 games.
Yeah,
that would be kick ass, Sean.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah, so that's all I pray for, and I mean, I sincerely do. All right, Sean, I appreciate your time tonight. It hasn't been as disappointing as the one horse. It was fun as always. I look forward to it.
So I was here, but I wasn't here, right?
Were you?
I don't know. Was I?
I don't know either. You're there, but you're not there. You win, but you don't win.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that this week. If my picks don't win, I'm going to say they won, but they didn't. They lost, but they won, but they didn't win because they won and they didn't win, and I didn't play them, but they won and you thought I played them. Right?
Now we just lost everybody for the last 2 minutes.
Yes, myself included. All right, Sean, good luck with your bets, everybody, this weekend in the NFL. Sean and I will post our college football picks in the morning, although I hate college football, but I'm actually getting pretty good at it lately. I've been winning a few. I was going to take Stanford tonight. I don't know what that game is like, but I got locked out of my account. So
27-0 Utah.
Good thing. Thank you for locking me out of my account.
I had the under in the Boston College Virginia Tech game earlier. I put it on the website. That was kind of easy to see that they weren't going to score many points in that game.
Well, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I got locked out of my account. Thank you. All right, Sean. Have a great night, everybody. Good luck with your picks this weekend. May all of your tickets cash. Sean and I will be back on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, stuff your pockets full of what, Sean?
Cash.
Absolutely.